The use of microorganisms has also greatly benefited other aspects of the aquatic environment. The variety and volume of fish, clams, and other shellfish harvests in the area have increased. Torigai clam harvests were particularly impressive in 1999. Fishermen noticed that the sand inside the shellfish was no longer sludge-like. The green slime, which also commonly infested the clams and tainted their flavor, was greatly reduced. This is largely attributed to the presence of effective microorganism solutions in the seawater. The areas where clam populations increased are consistent with the direction of the EM-activated seawater that flowed through the inland sea channels. A good example of this is Sanbanosu, famous for its clams. People in Sanbanosu hadn't been able to harvest clams for 5 years without importing stock from overseas. The community recently enjoyed a great season. This also inspired the government to take further action. They procured 200-liter tanks for producing activated EM solution and began distributing the solution to the town's residents. Now, 80% of the townspeople are using EM in their homes. I'm convinced that with adequate participation, we can successfully clean up the entire SETO Inland Sea. In Mr. Kaneda's words, the key is to put these microorganisms to work, allowing them to do what they were naturally created to do. We, as people, need only play a facilitative role, a stewardship role, in fully harnessing the power of these tiny creatures.
発揮してもらいたい、そういうその心構えが必要じゃないかと思います。我々の
Mr. Arao Sato, the mayor of Utsumicho. Our town consists of 2 islands, completely surrounded by the sea. At this stage, 90% of the residents in our town are using effective microorganisms. By using EM around the house, in washing machines, bathtubs, toilets, etc., the townspeople are helping to activate the water that flows from the town into the sea. Our goal is to get 100% participation, with the eventual goal of rejuvenating the coastline and rejuvenating our town. Mrs. Midori Fujiwara, another resident of Utsumicho, explains what motivated her to begin using effective microorganisms. They asked us to go and see the results that had been achieved by Kaneda Fisheries with our own 2 eyes, and we did. We were very impressed with what we saw and decided to do our share in using microorganisms to clean up the waterways in and around our town. Wastewater generated from our houses eventually flows into the sea. If we don't clean this water up, it could ultimately be a fatal mistake for us all.